are asked.
And
Now,
before we go on, just
mhm.
like to announce that this call is being recorded. So your continued participation in the call will count as you consenting to be recorded. Thanks.
Thank you, Jeremy, for that. So I'm going to skip right past there. So the purpose of our meeting today is to go over the Jobs for Veterans State Grant Incentive Award. The incentive awards are outlined in the Veterans Program Letter 124. The reason we're doing the incentives is to encourage the improvement and modernization of employment, training, and placement services for veterans in order to recognize eligible employees, and employment services for offering excellent service and the provision of services, having demonstrable improvements in the provision of those services to veterans. I know that was a lot. The JVSG Incentive Award recognizes the efforts of the PA Career Links and the local workforce development boards whose efforts demonstrate excellence in the provision of employment services for veterans with employment barriers, transitioning service members, and the eligible spouses, whose contributions involving veterans extend to the local partnerships and the communities at large. So there are 5 categories that we're going to award based on some criteria we'll cover in the next few slides. There will be 4 categories recognizing PA CareerLink offices, and the 5th will recognize the most engaged local area. Out of the 5 categories, 3 of them are qualitative and they require a submission, while we have 2 that are quantitative and no submission is required. So, as you see here, the 5 sections would be outreach, service and accommodation, DVOP services to veterans, and leaver services to the veteran-friendly employees. You can find this information on page 5 of your NAA. Hopefully you can see it here. It discusses what these categories cover. So for outreach, we'll be recognizing the innovative and successful events that showcase dedication and creativity. For service and accommodation, we'll be looking at innovative initiatives and accommodations that enhance the experience of the veterans and veteran-friendly employers. We'll also look at the DVOP services to veterans, which evaluates volume of veterans served relative to the period. We will also be looking at leaver services to veteran-friendly employees. And again, the last category would be the best LWDA, in which we'll be recognizing the most innovative practices and engagement efforts by the local workforce development boards in attracting and serving these veteran-friendly employees. And again, those categories that require submission will be outlined here. So you have outreach, service and, oops, sorry. I knew I was going to do that. So you have outreach, service and accommodation, and best LWDA. Those will be the 3 areas in which you will need to submit a packet. The packets that come in for application will be reviewed in 2 separate ways. So the first way is the initial review. Prior to the comprehensive merit evaluation, L&I will perform an initial review. During this review, we'll be checking to make sure that the applicant is eligible. So eligibility first, then we'll look at timeliness to confirm that this information that was required in the NAA was received by the deadline. Then we'll look at your formatting to ensure that the application, including the narrative, follow the NAA format and that your narrative includes the sections titled with the headers exactly as they appear on the criteria. And then finally, we'll look at the completeness, making sure that all required documents, attachments, appendices, and etc. are included with your submission. Once we get through that part of the packet will move over to merit review. Final rewards are issued based on a merit situation. So we're going to talk more about each of these categories, the positive outcomes, innovation and creativity, and partnerships and engagement. The merit criteria is spelled out on the NAA and is broken down into sections, which will show you how many points you can receive for each section. The corresponding page to the NAA for this is page 7. So just to give you an idea, your project details, you don't score points for those, but that would be including, your office. It would be a description of what you're submitting for, the parties involved, explanations of the effectiveness or the outcomes for your program and the explanation of how the funds will be used if the submission wins. So again, it's no points there, but it is a very important part of the submission packet for scoring. The next thing we'll look at is your positive outcomes, which will give you an opportunity to earn 20 points, but they're evaluated in sections. So with your numbers of partners, your outcomes, examples, you're allowed to earn up to 20 points. As you can see, this particular area, your numbers and stuff will be 5 points. Your outcome benefit, basically your full meat of it will be 10 points, and your examples will be another 5. Innovation and creativity gives you an opportunity to gain 15 points. In this section, you'll be describing your initiatives, your modifications. You can earn 5 points for that. Describing why the initiative is original or complex, you can earn 5 points for that. And outline or explain the need that you are addressing with the particular innovation. As we move into partnerships, engagement, and submission, each of these give you an opportunity to earn 5 points each. In those sections for partnerships, you'll describe the parties involved in your improvements or changes. For your engagement and overall outreach, you'll discuss individuals or describe the parties that were positively affected by your improvements or changes, and your submission packet overall. We award for quality and clarity. And again, you have an opportunity to earn 5 points for that. Overall, your packet has an opportunity to earn 50 points. All right, so the two areas in which you don't have to submit, which is the service to veterans and service to employers, they will both be calculated, no submission required, using the formulas that you will find on your NAA. Applicant and submitter details. In order for your application to be accepted, you have to meet the eligible applicant and minimum qualification. This information is spelled out on page 4 of your NAA, where you will find in more detail. However, each applicant includes a PA CareerLink site admin and your local workforce development director. For categories 1 and 2, must be submitted by your PA CareerLink site admin with the signature of your LWBD director. That will be 1 submission per office per category. For the quantitative categories 3 and 4, LEVOP services and leaver services, again, the formula will be used to determine, and there is no submission required. For your local workforce development board award, which is category 5, it must be submitted by your local workforce development board director. And again, this information you can find on page 4 of your NAA. Cash award amounts. We will be issuing identical dollar amounts for each of the categories that you can receive an award for. So each category winner will receive an identical cash award of $13,000, $13,021.90. Despite some of these awards being for the individual PA CareerLink offices, all award funds will be distributed to their respective local workforce development boards using a notice of obligation before September 30th. Notification of the winning awards will occur around August 1st of 2025. More information about this will be addressed later on in the presentation. Critical dates and deadlines. All entries for the categories in which review is needed must be received by BWPO's customer service unit in the Veterans Resource account at RALI-BWPO-VETS@pa.gov no later than 11/59/59 on June 2nd. Award notifications. Winners will be notified as of August 1st, 2025. Commonwealth disbursement deadline. NOOs will be issued and obligated no later than September 30th. And the local disbursement deadline. Winners will have 3 months to utilize the JVSG incentive funds, with any funds not obligated being sent back to BWDA. There are some other dates to draw your attention to. You will have them on your NAA and you can find them on page 3, which we'll talk about question due date. We will take questions to our mailbox and provide a complete list of Q&As. However, all questions received after that deadline, May 16th, will not be answered. So please keep that in mind when submitting for questions. Okay, at this time, I'm going to turn it over to BWDA's director, Brenda Dubstat, to cover more information about the NOOs and the grants.
Awesome. Thank you, Jocelyn. And good afternoon, everyone. I just really want to emphasize that this is an award. You are nominating an entity to be awarded, and this particular award is a cash award. So, since it is a cash award, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania must have a contract in place with the recipient in order to transfer those funds from the state to that entity. And so the way we intend to do that for these awards is that any awards that go to the PA Career Link or local area will go through the local workforce development board. So we really want to make sure that applicants are working with their local workforce development board staff so that they are on board for receiving these funds. As Jocelyn mentioned, we will be obligating the funding by September 30th. So the Jobs for Veterans State Grant statute says that incentives can be provided in the first year so long as they are obligated by September 30th. So once we have reviewed all the nominations and the nomination selection has occurred and award notifications have gone out, we will then issue a notice of obligation to the local workforce development board. The local board will have 60 days to draw this cash award, and then you can spend the money whenever you are able. We do expect that you spend the dollars the way that you outline in your proposal. So one of the things that we've asked for you to include in your nomination is how you intend to use the funding. But it really is a cash award. So it'll just be a one-time draw, but you'll have 60 days to draw those funds down from the CWDS, from the Commonwealth Workforce Development System. And then we're going to do a quick closeout period. So traditionally we have 60 days to close out our funds. Since this will be a one-time draw and it's a smaller amount of money, we're going to do that in a 30-day period. Again, the federal statute requires that all the funds be expended, and we want to make sure that we have that closeout document in place to ensure that occurs by the federal deadline, which is December 30th. This is a very exciting opportunity for Pennsylvania. It's a first for us with our Jobs for Veterans state grants. And so we're really excited to celebrate the incredible work that you all are doing for veterans here in the Commonwealth. And we're excited to be able to provide this cash award. We will work with local boards if they have any questions about how the funds can be utilized and any questions on the draw process, but it will follow the standard notice of obligation and granting process, even though this nomination and award is slightly different. I think that's all I have to share today. So I'm going to turn it back over to you, Jocelyn.
Thank you so much, Brenda, for that information. And so at this point, we can start with questions. I didn't see any posted in the chat, but if anyone would like to ask their questions verbally, feel free to come off of mute. Oh, Brenda, you have a question. We have one.
Oh,
what can the awards be spent on?
It's pretty broad. It can be spent really on anything that serves the group that was being nominated. So, and Jeremy and Jocelyn will jump in here. But if you're nominating a PA Career Link, we would like the funding to be used to give back to that PA Career Link as a whole. The only thing that it really truly can't be spent on is cash awards to individuals. So we don't want the cash award to turn around and become a cash award to staff or participants. We would like it to be something that benefits the CareerLink as a whole. So it could be training for the staff. It could be something that supports veterans in that office. It could be something fun, professional development, or something fun for the PA CareerLink. We do have information in the notice of award that goes into a little bit more detail. And we have some specific allowable costs, but it's really broad. It can be something to celebrate the team, but we just do want it to like really have a broad scope. We don't want to single out certain individuals. Once once you write in your narrative what you are thinking to use it for, we're going to review it. There's no like, other than the specific outlined unallowable costs, there's not really any no's. So we might look at it and just have a conversation with nominated entities on some tweaks. But generally speaking, we want to know what the plan is. But there really is a very wide range. So it's really exciting funding.
That absolutely about sums it up. And again, on your page 13 of your NAA, we will give you a little bit more of what you can kind of, there's some ideas of what you can do, as you can see on page 13. And like Brenda stated, unallowable costs, we're pretty much clear on that one. So we'll make sure that we're, staying in line with the collective bargaining unit information. Anyone else have any questions? Okay, well, we can definitely work toward giving you all your afternoon back, but please do not forget that there is an opportunity to ask questions if you think of something afterward, and all questions that are asked will be presented in a question and answer document, and it will be made available to everyone. At this point, I'm going to turn it over to Jeremy for final thoughts. And if anyone thinks of any questions during that time, feel free to come off mute and ask them. We will address them for you. Jeremy, take it away.
Okay. Thanks, Brenda and Jocelyn. Great job today. I don't really have anything else that needs to be gone over. Like Jocelyn said, you can always send in more questions as you think of them, and we will make those questions and answers available to everyone. Other than that, thanks for your time. Thank you for being here, and have a great day.
We look forward to your submissions, everyone.
Ending recording now.